This is Emma from Unique Phoenix, and welcome to Worthy Wednesday, because you are worthy of great love, both giving and most definitely receiving. But, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of shit in life. Sometimes there's going to be a truckload of shit in life. Sometimes it's going to feel like the pile of shit is bigger than everything else in your life. And that may mean stuff and things and all the stuff you've accumulated, or it may mean all the stuff you've accumulated in here. And it just keeps bubbling to the surface. I'll get to that. So I'm here to encourage you to make room for the shit, because ignoring the shit, as I've just said, means that you end up with a huge pile of it. And then what the hell do you do with all that? Like, there's so much of it, you don't know where to start. And for me, when I started to realize how much accumulated shit I had inside of me, the stories, the habits, the behaviors, honestly, all those years ago, I did not know where to start. And it's probably over 15 years ago now, and I really had no idea where to start. And you know what? Sometimes it felt like I was just adding more shit to the pile with the direction that I went or the thoughts that I had. And yes, it does feel frustrating, because here's the thing. I hadn't made room for any shit in my life. I'd been ignoring it for most of my life. And hey, there's some great reasons about that, but you need to feel all of your shit in order to move through it and get beyond it, so that the pile doesn't have to be so big all the time. Because once you start letting yourself feel all the shit and welcoming it, then what happens is you start to realize that life is not all sunshine and moonbeams, and it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be happy and joyful all the time. You are meant to definitely feel great joy, but we have other feelings in us. Now, one of the things that I do is, I coach, and I definitely work through this with my clients. It's amazing. However, there is an online course that you can do, which is called the Emotional Code, and it takes you through the 5 base emotions and what they're there for and how you can use them to your benefit. Because we are meant to feel what's considered negative emotion, because we feel it. We feel anger, we feel sorrow, we feel fear. And I'm not here to say that you're not going to feel those things and they're not going to feel shit to you, but they are there for you to move through, because we're not meant to feel them all the time, every second of the day. And they're also there for you to learn from as well, so that you can move through them. And they can be of benefit to you. They don't have to feel amazing, because they're not going to, but you can use them for good in your life and to help you and support you and to move through them, like I said. So you can have a look at that. That is through my website, under courses, online courses, I believe. It's pretty basic. So yeah, life is not meant to be sunshine and moons. And if you're wanting help with your emotions and you're just wanting to do it online, then absolutely jump on there and take the course. It's over 5 days, and it will help you use them for your benefit, which is great. We need to support our feelings with great thinking around it, because you need the balance of both. We absolutely feel before we think. So if we can get a handle on what we're feeling, then we can change the thinking that's around those feelings and the stories. And that's what I had to do, because I tried to ignore that for so many years, and you can't. So as you start to make room for the shit in your life and start chipping away at the pile that you've accumulated, whether you've tried to shove it under the rug or in the cupboard, or wherever you've tried to place it, or in the back of your mind and never want to come there again. And when you start to take little chips away at that, what happens is you start to be okay with the shit. And you're like, hey, all right, there's some more shit for me to look at. Yeah. And so when you're starting to look at all the crap that's around you and that you've accumulated within you, and when I'm saying crap and shit and all that stuff, it could be other people's opinions, it could be the bombardment of information that says you're not good enough for your life, and for the only reason you will be good enough is if you do all of these things, if you look this way, if you do this, if you have this, blah 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 blah. I clearly don't agree with that. And so the stories, perhaps the negative behaviors that, the ones that help you ignore the stories, the numbing that you do. And that can be done through such a huge amount of ways. It can also be done through things that you've been taught as a kid, the experiences that you've had, how you've carried them through. All of those things can be in your pile of shit. And if we've not chosen to look at it, like I did for a long time, then it might be big. But as you start to chip away, you're going to start to be more and more okay with, because you're going to be feeling some of those things. You'll be having a different look at them in a new way, because you're not the same person that you were back then. Yeah, can you see? So you're going to start to be okay with your shit, and it's going to change how you deal with shit going forward. And then you get to this real sweet spot where you actually want it, because you actually want a little bit in your life. Because here's the thing, you always want the light, you want the joy, you want the happiness, but with that comes the dark, comes the sadness, comes the sorrow, comes the anger, comes some of the shit, yeah, some of the stuff that we try and avoid, shame, all that stuff. We've got to have a balance of both, because it's not always going to be high joy, because obviously, I don't know, I think I'd get pretty bored. I like having a little bit of shit in my life, because I know that there's always light at the end of it. I know, because it's proven over and over and over again. It's proven that you always come out into a place where you're like, hey, it's not so crappy anymore. And then what happens is, you start welcoming in the new shit, because you've let go of the old stuff. And it maybe not hangs around for as long as it used to. The pile's a lot smaller. In fact, you may not have a pile. You may have an in and out tray that is in flux all the time, that is just in and out, in and out, in and out, updated, let it go, updated, let it go, in, out. And that's what's meant to happen. And it's also what's meant to happen with joy as well, and all the happy times, and all, the amazing achievements, and, all those beautiful, loving, and just, those moments when some of my favorite moments are when I'm sitting there with my kids and we're just having a chat, about something, or we're cooking together, or just simple things in life. Sitting there with someone on the couch, just watching something that you're enjoying together, just really simple things. You get to enjoy them more deeply, because your pile of shit isn't so much, and your mind isn't full of it either. So if you are wanting to take a deep dive into that, and you are wanting to make shit happen, to let go of all your shit, to learn to love all your shit, and to learn to let go of it all, then the Freedom Matrix is for you. And that's a 12-week deep dive immersion into lots of your dark side, but we'll get you into the light. That's absolutely part of it. It is absolutely based on where you're at and what you need, and it's individually run. So I meet you where you're at, and we get you to where you want to go. So if you're wanting to do that, if you're really ready to make it happen, to chip away at that pile, get rid of the pile, then the Freedom Matrix is for you. Because the difference between wanting to make shit happen and making shit happen, it's enormous. So if you're ready to make shit happen, then let's have a conversation and see how the Freedom Matrix can absolutely transform your life. I'm Emma from Unique Phoenix. I am a transformation coach. I am passionate, deeply passionate about helping women let go of all the bullshit guilt that they live under, that the pile of shit is genuinely made by, to get rid of all of that and to move to a soul-filled life where very little shits is given. You have a great in and out flux of it. You get to move through it all the time. So if you're wanting to make shit happen, then drop me a message and let's begin. The Freedom Matrix is definitely for you. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful time with me, and I hope you can begin to make room for a little bit of shit in your life. Please remember, be yourself, because there's only one of you, and feel good for being it, because you're the only person that can. I hope you have all the love and support around you so that you can have that and be that in your life, and if you don't, I'm here to support you.